Hey, I'm going to go over the rules. It is easier for me to do a video. I think it's more understandable to show rather than written down. Okay, so the rules are pretty simple. And what I trade as well, I'll go over that. In this pin message is everything, okay? Um, my links and things like that down here. Right. How to use Signal Sniper. So I'm going to put in here things, and then I'm going to have I'm going to have one in here where all the lives will be, okay, as well. But this is going to be for this rules. Um, there are other brokers out there, futures brokers. There's a lot more now, a lot more. But I know that these pay, right? Others pay as well. So this one here, this is what I trade Bitcoin on. Actually, they both have Bitcoin, but this one here doesn't have commissions on indices and gold and and uh, and crypto indices and gold. Yeah, okay. This one has an extremely tight spread as well, and you know, I do have another broker as well. So what I'm doing is I'm spreading out my brokers so that I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. Um, and I think it's safer as well. It's better to have like 100,000 in one account and then another one, 100 grand, then just one big broker with one big account. Do you know what I mean? Um, yeah, so always good. So I'm going to have another one. I've actually got quite a few, but I haven't put them in here. Um, okay, so I'm going to go over these rules. I'll put the rules in. Okay. Now, I trade both Forex and futures, right? So I do have a crypto Forex list as well, okay? But these ones here are full of, volatility, and you can quickly make money with what I have on here. So, like things like this, platinum, it's a lot of pips ticks very quickly, okay? Of course, there's, you know, if you have the German index and you only have a small account, you want to make sure that it's not the volatile one. Always demo first, right? Because sometimes you can have NASDAQ or US 30, and um, let's just say if you put in a trade, it can eat your account, right? So always demo first, right? But gold, even in $100 account, you can trade gold. It will give you money, but it can also take money off you. But these are all the symbols and instruments, assets, whatever you want to call them, that I trade. So, like Bitcoin, it literally all day, right? All day. Oh boy, I should have entered that one. Okay. Where's my alert gone? Okay, tapped it. All right. Okay. So, Bitcoin, these are the ones that I trade, in Asia because it's Australia. Jappy, this is for Forex here. The German DAX, I mean, I have seen it move in Asia, but I normally trade it London 2. Sometimes London 1, it can start up. Um, if you have all your templates, you understand, like there's London 2. So it can move, but I just watch for the wickety whack, okay? And I'll go over that. So UK 100, definitely for London. Um, USD Mexicano, it's extremely volatile. Volatile. It's open with a big gap here. VIX is what I use as confirmations. Okay, so VIX, London, New York. I use this alongside my trading for indices and gold. It's a fear um, index. So you'll see that, you know, if this breaks here, right, or this breaks down here, right, for example, I'll just go over this quickly, right? I do have a whole video on this, but anyway, right, if this starts breaking and then US 30 or the indices start going up, then I know that I can hold my buys until, watch this, right? If this starts going down, um, you know, normally, so you just in here, right? VIX, I do have that paid, but it seems to be the same anyway. Right. Right. So, yeah. All right. So see how this made a pattern when it opened, it just went, and the indices dropped. It was quite interesting. But yeah, I always keep an eye on that. So VIX, type it in, VIX as TVC is the trading view one. I don't know. I'm not too sure on the delay, but I do know that there's ones in here that got the orange D. That means it's delayed by 10 minutes or 15. So um yeah, I did buy it, so I'm just wondering. But if you see D, like an orange D, that's delayed, right? So if you're on GC and you see up the top here, it's D, like an orange D, that means it's delayed 10 minutes, so it's not the true price. Right? I buy the data because I want to calculate how many ticks, because I have future accounts. It just makes my life easier, right? But all these things, like gold, I trade anytime. Gold can move anytime. Right? Dixie, I make sure that I have my Dixie on too, because if Dixie is doing this, it's pretty much anything that's, GU or gold, anything that's got US dollar. Like if this is buying up, then gold is most likely to be selling, or GU or NU, things like that. Um, anyway, if you're futures, you know the micros and and full contracts, right? So trading with micros is the E-minis is definitely, I mean, these ones, sorry. Um, these micros is what you want to start with. Okay, because let me tell you, you put GC on, GC, right? It is going to eat your account alive. It's great when it goes your way, but not so good when it's just need to refresh this. Please don't put me on 5 again. Oh, here we go. I don't know what I've done. I think something has happened when I did I'm gonna, anyway, it keeps going back to UTC. Strange. I'm on Brisbane. Okay. All right. So, the indices move amazingly, of course, in New York. That's when the most volume is. But I've seen them move in Asia as well. So if I see volume like this, like the Heikin Ashi candles will tell you a lot, right? And I've seen them move some really weird times. So, if you see wickety whack, right? Wickety whack. Right? This is beautiful. It's got, the fat, flat Heikin Ashis. When I start seeing this stuff, it's a little bit, this is wickety whack. There's wicks on the Heikin Ashi candles, right? I want to see this kind of, this kind of candle. If you don't know about Heikin Ashi candles, there are plenty of YouTubes and plenty of people that will try to get you to buy their course with their YouTubes. You don't need it. Go ahead though. We all did that. We've all spent thousands on courses that you can get for just for free. I've got a whole Telegram that's got all free courses. One's anyway. Um, Okay, 6A, of course, I'm going to be trading that because it's Australian. 6C, yeah, I'm going to watch what happens. Sometimes the thing is with indices, sometimes they can move if I put on in my Asian session, right? But like this is yucky, yuck, right? This is just yuck, right? And then the London comes in, see, boom, it starts getting more volume, right? But sometimes, like see oil, like this is a beautiful trade, right? In a downtrend, and then under, and there we go. So I watch what's happening. Um, this is forming like a bit of a wedge here, right? So I'm always looking to see, you know, what's going to happen with the candles. Is it in like a strong downtrend? Right. But these are the type of things. I mean, you can go in and, type in 6L, right? Some people, they have the other ones. I just use these ones that, All right, 6N, 6B, all these are all futures, everything down here. This is platinum, Forex, Forex, and for futures, the same. So natural gas, NG, and QQ is not it. Yeah, I don't trade it on. Yeah, but anyway, I've just got it down here. Um, yeah, but those are, yeah. And then you've got all the Forex things, but this is enough, right? Um, the rules. Right? I get this question a lot too, how to set an alert, right? You have to go into here anyway, notify an app. Yeah, don't use email, it's delayed always. It just takes forever. It's like 4 hours later. Oh, it's crossed your support line. Okay, handbell. Um, all right, so you can just and then you message, right? Um, you can go on here. So, for example, if I want to get all the alerts, so what I personally do, because I can't trade with, I can't trade with all this on my chart because I can't even see the candles, right? So what I do is I have what I call sniper alerts. Okay, so I set them up. So I've got this here, and then I can quickly refer to this and have a look. Okay, where was it called? It was here under, I can see that. I can see that I can watch it to see if it's closed or not, but I can't, myself personally, I can't trade with all of this because I'm continually looking out and I can't see the candles, right? Right. To me, it's very important that you are able to see the candles. That's why I have a nothing chart. So I can scroll out and see, okay, it's making lower lows, lower highs, breaking structure. Where's it going to? Right, look to the left, always looking to the left. All right. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. This is in a channel here. It's QQ, don't worry about that. But then, and then I have my support and resistance. So then I don't have all the clutter on my chart. Right. But I can quickly refer to it here, up here, right? So that I can see where there's, I can put on my BJ levels, right? In here, I can go, okay, well, that's a strong area through here. If price is near it, I can come here. I can see this area here. So there's a big area here as well, right? So I'm able to see this, but I don't want this with this. Could you imagine it? It'd just be one big party. So that's, I know I see that on charts and I go, wow, how do they actually see the candle? Because the candle is what you want to see. And then the confirmations come from, your, what's the market doing? Is it in a sell, right? So, but this here, right? this Heikin candle, let me just put it on. If I'm going to put on gold, okay? Right. So I can have it on GC or I just, whatever, right? Um, just hold on. Gold, right? So up here, go to alerts, right? Price, and then I go to sniper, right? So this is the buy alert. Oh, hang on, just let me put it onto the 1 minute, right? So then I can go here. Hang on, but I'm on my sniper alerts because I don't. Oh, I am on my sniper alerts. Okay. Duh. Sniper, buy alert. Okay. If you put it on once per bar, right? As soon as it comes up, it's going to alert you. So you get an early warning. So that is up to you. I've had it on once per bar close. That means it's the close the bar, then it can just be Heikin, boom, down. Oops, we've missed the trade. So I like to have it when it comes up. It gets a bit crazy, especially if you have noise. It's ringing like mad, right? So choose your alarm bell, right? Right. I have it coming up here. Sometimes I have so many that I miss them, right? So anyway, you work out. Like I had it on all of it at one stage, and it was madness. That was just too ridiculous. It was like just going off. So I have my horizontal lines and trend lines that I wait for price to come to, right? And then I can turn it on, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, hang on, once per bar. Okay, I think you understand that one. And then for the sell, right? And then you've got your signal sniper, your high quality. Okay. All right. So you just put that on, right? And it'll come up in your alerts. Right. Okay. And then you can, pause them as well. Restart, pause all. Okay. Um, delete them. You can pause individual ones, right? You can change it, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Um, but for example, if I have got like so for example, if I want to take a buy or a sell, right? So you can see here a crossing trend line, right? So if I put this on, oh, ever since I have changed, I'm going to have to get rid of that. I'm just going to have the public one because for some reason this is something's happened to my charts ever since I've done this. Bizarre. Right. Keep on. I've done this so many times already today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Anyway, but here, like for example, this here, if I want this to touch this, right? Right. If I'm in no man's land and I want this to be, you know, because it's in an uptrend, then I'll put this alert on. Right. So I'll go here, price crossing trend line, right? And I can write a little note. Okay. All right. And then it comes up. Okay. All right. But you can come in here, do all that. And then uh, so the rules, okay, I'm just going over this and this and that. Um, when I have, so see here, like this is what I look for, right? And I'll scroll out. Okay, just put this here, right? Okay. If I'm looking at this market, right, I can see that there is resistance, support, sorry, support through here, look to the left. If, of course, this breaks, we're going to come down, most likely, right? If I have my trend line here, right, and it starts breaking out, I'm going to look for buys, right? It's trading doesn't have to be too hard, you know. I see that this is in a downtrend. This is making lower lows, right? Lower highs, right? And we're kind of in a squeeze, coming to a squeeze, right? Okay. And I'll see, right? You can, on whatever happens on, you know, on the hour happens on the 1 minute as well. Same pattern. See, you can see a quasi pattern here. What I mean by quasi, and you'll hear me say quasi a lot, is it's like a head and shoulder pattern, right? We have a breaker structure, and boom, 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 come down to a zone down here, and you look to the left, to the left, to the left, okay? Once it broke this, after creating a pattern, when I see anything being created, right, then I know that the trend, right, is going to go most likely to a demand area, right? If I see a wedge happening, right, and a crossover, break here, boom, 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 squeezing, squeezing, then I know they're probably likely to push it up to here, right? So if they create a pattern and I see it, or if it's like a bearish flag, right? You know, the market's coming down, right? Right, the market's coming down, and there is a zone here, right? A demand area. I know that they'll most likely push it down if it's a true pattern that they're going to use, okay? The market repeats itself over and over. And if this is coming down, making lower lows, lower highs, and heading to a stronger zone on the 4 hour, right? Okay. And they're making lower lows, right? These zones are going to get broken easier. Now, this might come here, bounce up and retest. And if it makes a lower high and curls around, and the moving averages are curling around, then I can get in for a sell. Right? Sorry about all the scribble here, but I'm just explaining, like, you know, these moving averages are very powerful. Now, I know there's traders I used to use, and there's nothing wrong with it. The 25, the 50, and the 100 EMA, nothing wrong with it. But I can clearly see, right? I can clearly see with these moving averages when price is buying, when price is selling, right? It's very clear to see. So if I go into the 5 minute, you'll see, okay, this here, they've got a base here, right? Right. Now my rules are, right? Now I know the moving averages are lagging, right? So I go in between these all these time frames. Right? If I see that they have broken this trend, they, you know, and now you can see here very clear that they've created a bearish pattern. See here, right? Bearish pattern. And the moving averages are crossed over. Now, there's my zone. I know that if they are going to, because they've been in a downtrend, I most likely will get a trade down to this area. So instead of just going in for little tiny ticks or pips, the markets repeat themselves on all the charts, right? In here, I can use higher risk, right? And in here, I can hold this. I can take partials as well, right? This here is I've got the pattern, right? I've got the break and the retest in here, this, and I see that these Heikin Ashi candles, right? I go into nothing. See the Heikin Ashi candle, right? See how, oh, let me just get rid of all that scribble, right? See how you get a big push, pulls back up, fat, flat bottom. This is what I want to see. I want to see fat, flat bottoms, right? And you can trail your stop loss, right? You can even trail it just above these, right? Right? Boom, boom, boom. Then you start getting wickety whack, right? So you can see that it pushed straight past here, right? So I'd have my stop loss here. I've secured this profit, right? And now here, right? And depending on what happens around here as well, if it pulls back, right? Let me just get rid of this, right? If it breaks this trend line, a lot of the times I put a trend line down and I'll stick in here. If it starts coming out, I'm like, time to take profit, right? But if, for example, if it comes to here, right? Market comes here and then it has a reaction. And say, for example, it creates another, it might be a wedge, right? Right. Okay. All the PDFs for patterns are all in the Telegram as well. In the, anyway, you probably already know. But this here, right? The rules, this is a lower high. This is a lower low, right? We are in a downtrend, right? This here, because this, you see this a lot, it'll come back and if it creates, it can create like a wedge, right, as well, right? But if this comes up, and sometimes it can be like a stagger like that, and it respects this area, and then you see this kind of candle, right? And you see the moving averages curling around, and you see these fat flat, it's very likely that they're going to sell it again because they're heading down to a demand area. So always look to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Right? So in here, right now, I make money. But let's just go, if I make money here, but depending on what it is, if I make $50, okay, let's just put 50. I can use part of this here, right, when I put in a trade. So I'm going to take profit if I see that the market is going to retrace up or the market's come down, wherever it is, whatever it is, okay? It can be just a push down, a quick push down. I'm going to take my profit. I watch the candles, right? If the candles gives me, like, what I'm trying to say is if I see a pattern, right? If I see a bullish pattern and they're going to sell it, there's a very high chance that they're going to push it more than just 10 ticks, right? So I can use this because I've caught this amazing pattern, right? And I can hold it, right? Now the stop loss I'd put above here, right? But when I'm in here, I don't want to get a little wick going like that, right? So I don't actually put a stop loss here. Let me just get rid of this drawing, right? Okay. Right. I can even put my stop loss here depending, what's happened. If this starts breaking, boom. Right. Okay. There's a pullback here. Right. If this breaks here and this starts coming back in, I'm going to get out if it starts showing me this kind of candle. right? I don't care if it comes in and out, but if I see this kind of action, this volume, this flat Heiken Ashi candles that's buying up, I'm like, okay, they just fake me out, or I'm just not seeing the market properly, right? I'm like, okay, just get out, because this can break here and this can break a trend line and they just push the market. If this was a strong level, right, and they start breaking out of here, you don't want to be in the sell, you want to be in the buy, right? You don't want to be emotionally attached to, oh my goodness, I just lost, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? You want to go, okay, take the loss. Let's get in with the buyers, get out, retest, in we go. Right? This here is a quasi giving me even more confirmation, right, that they're going to drop it. Right? Can you see that? Right? Patterns repeat themselves. Right? See this left head and even a bearish pattern followed by another bearish pattern, then the sellers come in. But whatever money I make on this run, if it pulls back, I can use some of it, right, to compound here, right? Whether that be whatever, I'm not going to even say because I don't want to disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Um, that is up to you what you want to risk. Right? Most traders, they trade, every trader trades different risk. If you want to be, high risk, have a risk-free account that you don't care, right? But always increasing your lot size as the account goes is, well, that's what I've heard traders not do that either. So who knows? Everyone's different. And oh boy, interesting. But the rules, right? I'm just trying to show if my stop loss is here and I'm going in for a couple of ticks, right? And I see this pattern because I get this question a lot. How many pips should I go for? Well, how many would you go for here? Right? Logical sense is, oh my goodness, the sellers are in. I'm going to stay in this baby. I can take profit and I can get back in this. Right? But I might have a signal that might be here. Right? Okay. And you see the candles. And if this is ES or NQ or a micro or whatever, or Forex, it's not as okay. You might get a thing here, and you might go, you know what? I'm happy with this profit, just a tiny bit, right? But when I see something that is like a reversal pattern, right? Okay, this here is a reversal pattern. When they break this here, and I see this fat, flat Heiken Ashi candle, right? Okay. Like if I put on buy, right? Okay. You can see just from a little bit, 165, right? If I hold it, and then what I'll do is I'll put my trend line like this. I can enter on these pullbacks because they're creating bullish patterns. Look at the inside candle here. There is no sellers here. When this pulls back, I'm on the 1 minute time frame. I go to the 15-second as well, right? See, if I look to the left, right? If I look to the left, where is my last resistance? Boom. I'm going to take my profit and I'm going to get in. If there is nothing to the left, right, and you'll see this quite a lot in the market, like if it just does this, normally when it sells, it'll go all the way down because there's no turnarounds. no higher high, higher low, higher high. It's just a big, and normally the market, you can see it again here, right? Quasi pattern makes a lower high, lower low, bullish, bearish pattern. It came down all the way down to here where it took off, right? Then what did it do? Retested. And then what did it do? It went down, right? Okay. In here, if this breaks this, I'm going to look to the left, right? I'm going to look to the left. If I see, right, it's a bit funny here, but not the best example, right? If I see this bullishness, this is I'm going to move my stop loss up. And then you see we start getting little, see the difference? Oops. See the difference here? Strong, 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 right? And this does this on all time frames. And then you see, right? I'm definitely going to get out. And I can see that this is strong. Now, I'm sharing this because in something like you'll see it where the price is down, but you don't know how far down it's going to go. Right? The difference taking a signal in here, right? It might just come down a few pips or ticks. Right? When it creates a pattern, and the sellers come in, it's normally going to drop further. When it breaks structure, right? Breaks structure. And you see beautiful, beautiful Heikin-Ashi candles, right? Right? Boom, 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 boom. Look to the left, to the left. There's resistance here, support here, right? Always looking to the left, right? Now, that, like for this stop loss, right? For example, if let me just put this on, right? If I'm in a sell and I see this pulling back, and if I put my Nada Ray on, I use this for pullbacks. Well, where did it go? Okay. Okay. So Bitcoin, I'll just show it on something that's really trending. So it's easy to understand. All right. Okay. I can see, right, my rules are, right. EMA, where's the EMA gone? I saved it with an email. Where's it? Oh, there it is. How come it's not on the other ones? Okay. See how this 200 exponential moving average, right? Price is all above it. Right? Now, yes, you can sell as well, but this is buying. I want to be buying with the trend. This here, all the price is below. So I look at this 200 moving average, EMA, right? And this is telling me, right, if you have a look, I'll go into the 15-minute, probably see it even better, right? That this is making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? This is a trending market, right? Right now, it's pulling up, it's above. So they're having a retracement up, right? If they don't break this low, well, it's a high, but it's a low. This here, right? Then I'm going to go with the trend until the bend. Now, using fibs is going to give you levels as well, because price can come to the 618 and then sell off and then go back, right? So you want to use your fibs. If you don't know about fibs, there's plenty of videos on fibs, right? Okay. But Fibonacci happens, you know, there's Fibonacci happens on all time frames, but it's very good to see, right? And then look to the left where price, there's a level here as well, right? So it could see there's a price just here, right? So if I have a buy here, I'm aware that there is fib levels and we are in a downtrend. So I will, go in. Oops, we don't want to delete our, right? I want to be aware that it's in a downtrend, right? And I want to be selling. Right now we're above. If I, go here, right, in here, and you see, I can put nothing on here. When my moving averages are below. Now see the pullbacks. These are all entries for me to buy because I'm getting in at a good price here, right? Okay, and sometimes you'll see like here, right? See how the moving averages, if I let me just, there's a different video, right? See how price, right? Price went away, right? This broke and made a high. What pattern do you see here? Made a higher low. Moving averages are below, sorry. Price is above. When I see this Heikin Ashi candle and they make a high coming up, it's going to give me confirmation, right? Right? That they most likely will come up to this zone, right? Look to the left, but they push past it and they created just bullish patterns all the way, right? So look to the left. This also could be some kind of fib level, right? But my rules are I'm only buying above, right? Now, it doesn't have to be on the 5 minute. I'm just showing you can see this is buying. This is buying, right? So I go to the 3 minute and I will see, right? You can put alerts on the crosses as well, but it's just, whoa, man, you feel famous. Ring a ding ding, right? It's like madness, okay? But you can see here, right? Let me just move this, right? Made a high low. See, this is higher than this low. When it crossed over, you see how price left. See how it is away from the moving average. There's a space. This is strong trend. When there's a space between this and this. Right? See how this didn't leave with space? This didn't leave with space. This did. This left, the sellers are in. See the space in between here. Right? See the space. See the space. See the space in the moving averages as well. This is pull back into the moving average. Price is, look at the candles. Right? Look at the space here. This is a strong trend and it's creating bullish patterns. So, there's traders out there that will have a position here, right? Now, if I enter the trade here and I don't take profit, I just gave my profit back. That's right. So what I do is I know that I can take my profit. Now, if this starts continuing up, of course, I'm just going to move my stop loss up. Yeah. Right. If I get fat, flat Harkinashings that just continue going up, right? And you'll see this when there's lots of volatility and volume, right? See, I'm going to move my stop loss up, right? Because I know that I can always get back in again on a pullback, right? Especially when a trend starts, right? You know, like Elliott waves, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then it starts, can sell off. It can, right? So if you're trying to go, okay, we've got the moving averages and they're beautiful and beautiful, and it's already done its big run, and you think, oh, it's going to go again, you might have been buying at a really high price. But if you do, and they start, let me just get rid of all these drawings. If they do, right, and you're in here thinking it's going to go, right, and it breaks, right, and creates a bearish pattern, get out and get in the sell. Because this is now a quasi breaker structure, bearish pattern. You will see this happen over and over again, right? Then you're looking for this to break, retest, right? You will see it'll come up, whether with a pattern or not. If it creates a bearish pattern, you know that they're going to take it down. They're going to take it down. Well, they most likely will. Okay, but you don't want to be in here scaling in, okay? If this happens and you're like, oh, you know, because sometimes what I'll do is this might have a bullish candle and I'll buy here, right? But I know that this trend has just started, right? So I'll scale in and scale in, scale in, and then it turns and up we go, right? Right. If there, you know, I might put a buy in here. I might, you know, there might be a bullish candle. I think, oh, yep, here we go. But it pulls back. I'll enter another buy, right? I know my risk. I know how much I can put there to scale in, right? I know what I've made here to take profit here, to use here. If this decides it's not going to be bullish anymore and it turns around, I cut my loss, right? So you might think, oh, this is coming down. I'm going to scale in because that German lady, she scales in. You have to, like, don't be in the fetal position, you know, and hoping and praying that it's going to go up, because this is now the sellers are and you want to cut your loss, right? If you're unfamiliar with market structure, don't scale in. Do not scale in. Just take one trade, okay? And wait to see if it turns around, right? If it creates a bullish pattern, right, and you were here buying, just put in one position if you're newer to trading, or just you want to be, you know, less risky, right? And wait for it to see if it respects and then turns around. If it doesn't, get out, right? So with the rules, you know, when you read the rules for Brian and he does NQ, if you are in this pullback on NQ, this can destroy your account. Okay, I use micros. I know the risk. Practice, demo, right? If this has a pullback, this is a load of money. This is so much money. You know, it is ridiculous, right? And that's why NQ is wonderful. GC is wonderful, right? For micros, big lots are great, but not when they go against you, right? You got plenty opportunities with a low risk account, right? Right, to get in, right? If you have this in here, right? Hang on, GC, right? If you go to, right, where's the, oh, sorry, I'm far away, right? I know I know this is about rules, but it's very, you know, this is, I hope this is, where's my, hopefully this is, you know, useful. right? If you're waiting, you know, if you think this is buying up, right? You think, oh yeah, this to me looks like a bullish pattern, right? You're like, we go above the moving average, right? You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna scale in. This this will blow your account, right? From here to here, the market must be open. Oh, it is too, right? Market is open. Okay, so there we go. All right, GC right now. So I'm looking at this. This is my Sydney session. Right. This is very bullish, but we did break. See this? We broke this. So I'm not going to buy this. Right. XPT, what's all going on here? See how all these alerts go off. Log, potential buy, potential buy. So let's have a look. All right, yep. Beautiful. See that? It broke here. Right. Alerting me. So now I can put on another. This is what I do. Right. Go to normal candle and have a look. All right. Let me just say, this is the market open. I don't want to get in all this potential buy. Bitcoin, that was before. Platinum. Right. So it broke this. See, it's bullish. Right. So I love it when the market does that. I want it to come down here and then break out. But this here, right? See the bearish. Oh well, we went over that before. See, it's curling around. We've done a quasi, right? Bullish, high, 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 low, high, high. What am I looking for here? This to curl around, right? It could come up to retest this area. So I go to the 1 hour time frame, right? And I can see what's it at? A major support area, right? It's come down. It did break this to come down. There is a trend line here. I just need to get rid of all these lines. Right, there is a trend line here. Right, what are my rules? I'm going to go to the 5 minute. Now this is starting to go up. Right, this is starting to curl. Right, this broke this. Now I don't need to jump in, but this here, what's the time? 6, I've got 3 more. Yeah, this is too big anyway. This is too much of a big candle. Right, that's a lot of risk. Right, but you can see how it's a bullish pattern. High, 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 high lows, right? Okay, bullish now. And it's probably going to come up and test this or test this, right? But it's been making lower lows, right? Break a structure, right? Quasi kind of pattern here. But this here in a normal market, not the market reset, right? When I do the Sydney, this is Sydney, no, Sydney, right? The market might close and it won't do this a lot of the times. This is the Monday morning stuff. Okay. So if it pulls back and then starts going up, it's probably going to go up. Maybe. Right. But my rules are I'm selling, right? I go to 3 minute. It gives me, okay, let me go into gold. That's not open. Where's gold? Oh boy. Wowzers. Okay, this is just yucky. I can't see anything here. Right. Nice. See how this here, if I, right, this here, just open with a really big thing. See, I made a high, high, low, high, high. Yeah. Pull back, bullish pattern, out we go. So there it starts getting together here. See how it starts going up, pulls back up. I want to be buying with the moving averages below, selling, right, below. If I see this, the rules, when price is in between and it's tight, we stay out. I stay out of this. This is consolidation, right? Look at the difference here, consolidation, to here where it starts creating high highs, high lows, right? Bullish. So then I go to my 1 minute, right? And in here, I'm buying, curls back, I put on my Nardarea, right? Now I can see, right? See the pullback goes gold, orange, whatever you want to call it, right? This is my pullback. When I get a higher high in a market that starts trending, that's why I was on Bitcoin before, right? Have a look, right? I get this high, right? I get a high, it pulls back, I get in, I get in, right? Okay, I want to see, it has to be a trending market, right? And you can see it clear, right? In here, boom, the start of a trend. See here, bullish. I want a pattern with it, right? And I notice I haven't even gone over into the signals yet because this is going to give you higher probability trades, the ones that, this here, see how it pulls back? Now it starts curling around, right? This here, I can be scaling in here, right? This is creating a high, high, right? The market does this over and over again, right? You want to zoom out so you can see the market, right? Price is below the moving averages, right? We're buying, it's creating a bullish pattern. We are having a pullback. I can come in here and start scaling. I might get a signal here. I might get a signal here, or up here anyway, right? I might get one here, right? And it pulls back. It doesn't worry me because I know that this has made a higher high and a higher low, high, high, higher low, high, high, bullish pattern being created. Then once I'm in here, right, I use this as well. Very different video though, right? Moving averages or nicely apart, right? I can add a position in here. I can even take the money that I've made here and pop it in here if I wanted to. But here, I'm going to get in. Where I'm going to write it to, I'm going to look to the left, to the left. I'm going to stay in this. Okay, but these pullbacks, when it starts curling around, I use the Nardarea, right? Okay, so, you know, the rules, I mean, that is the rules. You're buying when price, like here, right? What do you see before this? Like you go, if you come here and you're like, oh, price is below, it's crossed over. Look, scroll out, put it on nothing, and have a look. Put your trend line here. Go, oh, this is just a pullback. Even though the moving average has crossed over, we are in a uptrend, making higher highs, higher highs, higher lows. Okay. This here, you see a pattern. What is happening here? There's a squeeze, 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 bearish pattern, boom, right? It didn't go all the way down, right? But it's come to, it must have been some kind of something over here for it to push up. Okay. But always, looking at the market. Don't just go, oh, the moving averages are crossed over. I'm going to get in for a sell. You know what I mean? Like, look at it, right? You want to go with the trend. You want to zoom out. You want to, or zoom in, whatever you call it, zooming in. You see the market curling, right? You're here. You're thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be selling, 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 right? Which it can be, right? But I'm going to put on my Heikin-Ashi candles. I mean my this one, it's got it on there, right? This I'm selling. This is I'm selling. I'm selling. Now what happens? Comes together. Like if I'm in this sell, right? I've already taken my profit for one thing, right? There's I would have taken profit, entered, right? Okay. But when I go down to the 1 minute time frame, right? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Is what this is what is this? This is beautiful, right? This price is away. Price is away. What happens here? Prices together. Prices together. We break structure, right? It is lagging, but you see that price and then it comes together. Like, but I'm watching the Heikin-Ashi candles. If I enter this trade, right, what am I doing? I'm putting on my trend line. I'm out, right? This looks like it's selling. Then I have this and it tells me it's buying. I'm definitely going to take my money or get out, right? Because this now gives me wickety whack. See the wickety whack, wickety whack. This, look at the different candles here. Beautiful, wickety whack. Ooh, I'm out. I can look for a better trade. I can get in again later. If I'm in here and it doesn't, continue down, if it starts giving me green, right? This cumulative delta is telling it's strong selling, right? This is selling, but I start getting, if you have a look in here, right? It's saying it's selling, but I go to the smaller time frame, right? And I'll see that there's things coming in here. I don't want to be in the sell anymore, right? I've taken my profit. Now I've got mixed candles, right? If I'm in this sell because it's gone beautiful, right? And I put on my sniper, right? Let's have a look. All right, I get a sell. I'm in the sell. I'm in the sell. I get another sell. This is looking beautiful, right? This is looking nice. I'm going to stay in this, right? Comes down, right? I didn't get another sell. Oh, well, we actually wouldn't have taken this because it's got grey. Okay, the rules, grey, we're not taking it. Red, we're taking it. See the two reds, right? Okay, this here, I'm going to take. I'm going to take this. I even take these, right? I like these. 6A is crossing, going up. Hang on, I need to put this in. 6A. Oh, where's my chart? Right, 6A. If this is going up, where's my chart gone? Chart 6A. Just bear with me here because I'll show you what I'm doing here. Right, order line. Okay. Oh my goodness, yep. 6A, 5 minute. Right. Now I'm going to go in on one of my accounts here, and I'm going to buy this one, right? And there we go. I've got all that in here. If it goes against me, I should have waited for a pullback. That's only 130 anyway. So there we go. If it makes a pullback, I'll get in again. Okay, so I'll show, right? But see here, this here, red, tick. If it's got gray, you stay out. I don't care if there's gray in the bottom one, right? It's just when this is all red, this is selling, right? You stay in this baby and you watch what the candles are doing. You move your stop loss down, right? You see the gray, get on out, right? Okay, so here there's a sell. It said red. I'd be taking it, right? This started going here. Maybe I'll go, you know what? I don't really like this trade, or I know this is in a downtrend. I'm going to wait to see what happens here. And I can enter again on a smaller risk, on a small risk, right? I can scale in here. Now, don't do this on NQ. Don't do this on ES, right? They have rules. They have, if it starts going above, get out, right? This, you're all right, the dots, okay? I don't use the dots. Use the dots if you're following NQ and ES and it's volatile, okay? You must use the dots, right? Okay, here, if I'm in here and I take a sell, right, I wait for the pullback. I like to get in on a pullback if I can, right? Sometimes the market I'll see, I'll go in between these candles. I'll go on this candle and this candle. I'm watching them both. I'm not just going by Heikin Ashi because Heikin Ashi doesn't give you the real price, right? It's a trend candle, okay? I know this is a bit of info, but watch it again, okay? Oh, I forgot to check for news. Oh dear. Gosh. Bullinox is all right, but not the other one. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Okay. So, right, this here is under. I'm definitely selling this. There is my support here. I'd be taking profit here. And then I can get back in again. Right. This has got a Heikin Ashi candle. There's fat and flat. I can come in here, put my stop loss here. And if it goes, it goes. And it does. So I get 1 to 2, 3, 4, there we go. Right. But when I'm in a trade, if it's in a downtrend, right, see how this curls around, right? Beautiful. But watch out when you start getting these greens. If you're in this buy and it goes green, get on out of there, right? Unless you're in a bearish pattern or a bullish pattern, okay? Right? If the market is pulling down and pulls up and it makes a pattern, right? And it has the green, I stay in, right? But it has to be in a downtrend. I hope that makes sense. Making highs, lower lows and lower highs, right? Downtrend, right? Breaks in here, down. The moving averages are beautiful. It's heading to a zone. In here, I don't care if it goes green, but you need to know your market structure, right? I'm trading everything. I'm not just trading ES or NQ, right? So I'm just sharing a few things that I look for, right? Patterns repeat themselves over and over again. But in here, if I see a bit of green, I don't care because this is a pullback. I can enter, enter, enter. But make sure it is a pullback. Do you know what I mean? Don't make things up in your head that, maybe a candle's here and you think, oh, it looks like a bullish or a bearish pattern. Oh, that looks like a bit of a wedge. It hasn't even made it yet. Don't start making things up in your head, right? Make sure it's a clear looking pattern, like a wedge, like this, bearish pattern, like it's gone here to here to here to here to here to here, right? And it squeezes, and then you can see it, right? In here, I don't mind scaling in. Right? If I see this, in just bleh, I'm just going to get out. It's not going my way. Right? But in here, if I have a candle, I like to wait for it to pull back because I'm going to get a proper entry. Right? But sometimes the candle just goes flying and you miss it. Right? But if I see the candle print, right, a sell candle, I like it for it to pull back, right, and then, right, then get in the sell because my stop loss is closer. My risk is better, right? But sometimes you get this candle and it just tanks because the sellers are in control. All right. Okay, so there we go. Um, yeah, but the rules, of course, when this is green, see this green, we're buying, and you'll also get divergence as well, right, on these. But the main thing is, right, is you're buying when the moving averages are nicely apart like this and staying in with the trend, right? You can stay in this. We've got a few minutes here. We can move our stop loss up. Right. In here, I can see there's a bullish pattern. Right. Bullish pattern here. Boom. Right. Heikin-Ashi, right? Right. Then it starts crossing over. I'm like, oh, careful. Okay. I can sell if there's red. Right. This sell, no. This red, yeah, I'll get in. But this is a primer example of the candles don't tell me, like there's a green, there's a red, okay, there's this. I'm just going to take what I can out of this. I'm not going to hold this, you know. I mean, this is beautiful, these candles, right? But we are in an uptrend, right? So here, pulls back, right? Now I start getting wickety whack. I don't like wickety whack. See how the price is coming in between, out, in. They don't know what they're doing here, right? I stay out of this, right? And look down the bottom here. You got green, grey, green, grey. This is just yucky. So it's not a good trade, right? To be in. This is just wickety whack. What do you see here? Ask yourself, what do I see here? Now, I have people say to me, yeah, but it's so easy to see after. Market is live at one stage, right? You're here, you see the wickety whack. What I do is I put my trend line here, right? And I go, okay, oh, it broke. Okay, so I'm in here, right? If I get my sell, there's a sell, I'm in. See how this is now underneath? We have a bearish pattern. We have bearish sellers, little buy candles, right? Little. And then we start with the big fat look in here. And you can go down to the smaller time frame as well, and you can see it. Right. I can go into my other candles as well. I always do that. Oh my goodness. Right. See how this is curled over? Right. It's broken that trend line as well. Right. Right. What was it at? It was at the 618. Yeah. So they're now having a sell. So, and have a look. You see bearish patterns. Right. If I come to the 15-second, I can see it. Right. Beautiful. Look at the Heikin-Ashi candles. What's this? Bearish pattern. This is telling me that the sellers are in control. Right? What is the moving averages doing? It is selling. I'm only selling here. I'm not going to buy. I'm selling. Right? I can see it's broken this, double topped here. Right? come to a fib level. You see, like it broke this. It failed to make a higher high. We've got a support, a resistance level, bearish pattern, right? See the difference here to the here? This here? This broke out of this channel here. This is bullish, right? We are making highs, higher high. Even this was higher high. This here, bullish pattern, breakout. I get in on these, see these trend line breaks here? Right? Sometimes they work. Most of the time they work with the trend, right? This here, bullish trend line, boom. Where am I taking profit? Look to the left, right? If I'm in here, there's my TP, right? Around here. Now it's selling off, and we'll see what they do with it. Came here. This is where price is a heavy area where there was a supply. Price pushed. When you see price push off from an area, right, like here, it's a strong area where price sold. Price sold. And what did it do when it got to it? Sold. So you have your support and your resistance. You can check. Right. BJ levels. There we go. Here. Boom. Always checking. Right. But just because there's a support or a resistance doesn't mean it's going to hold it and push up. Right. You can see here. What did it do? Right. There was support here. Right. Very bearish pattern. Heikin-Ashi candles are really big. They push it through. What do? Bearish pattern. Right? Study the market. Study the patterns. Right? But if you see this, when they're doing this, they always look to the left, right? If they broke this area here, right? This area here, if they broke it, right? They come here, maybe they came to here or whatever they come to, right? Okay, just because it broke this trend line doesn't mean they're going to come all the way down here, right? That's why I look at the candles. I'm always looking at the candles. If I start seeing wiggity whack and green and red and blah, 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 I'm taking my money. I know I can get back in later. Again, it's going to pull back. Right? If I come here and it pulls back and gives me a bearish pattern, then it's likely to come down further. Right? And it could come down here where it might come down to retest and then continue up. But if it breaks this area and this breaks this to come up, right? It could just come up here and then sell off again, right? So you always trade what you see, not what you think. Your eyes can play little stories on you and it can make you sad because you go, hey, I thought I was going to do that. And you know what? Sometimes the market, even though it's giving you all the sells, everything, it'll just do some weird, funky thing and go out, you know? And that's what the market does. Because fundamentals might come in, Trump might tweet, right? Something might get bombed. There might be some kind of rate that comes out of the blue, you know, all this stuff happens. And that's why you never want to leave your trade if you don't have a stop loss on because the market can just go, wah, right? Or it can go, wah, the other way, right? When I'm trading, I'm always looking because I'm scalping, right? If I'm going to move away from the charts, I put my stop loss in, right? You hear of people saying, you know, they're looking at my stop loss. Yes, when you have $1 million, that's why it's always a good idea to have, you know, accounts that, you know, multiple brokers, right? Okay. There is some funky things that happen. you just the rules, like the rules, the rules are price action, you know? Price action is where it's at. Like this one here, where's my trade? No, I've entered here, but if it comes down, right, and you'll see, and I can enter again. I've only put in one micro. Where's oh, not micro. No, it's not very volatile, this 6A. Um oh goodness, blind. Okay. So here, yes, right. See, this here is my Sydney, right? I am going to, right? I'm not going to be selling because price is above the moving average, right? If I get a trade signal, right, I'm not taking any sells. I'm not taking any sells because the moving averages are above. Now, me, right, let me just go here. Sorry, I'm on a 5-minute chart. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Um, so let me just add that. I don't know what happened to. Oh, I see. SMA. I must have it on this thing. Ready for 150. Hang on, I just need to put something else on here. Email. Now, people, people are like, they'll say to me, oh, your videos are so long. And they don't watch them, but they'll watch TV all day long, or they'll scroll Facebook all day. You know, I don't care. If you don't want to watch it, don't. All right. I dish out this, and it's up to you whether you know, listen or not. But we're here. This is a business here. You treat this like a business, you make money like a business. You give yourself excuses like, oh, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to look at the chat. How come I have to look at this and wait for this? You go to work all day, 8 hours a day, right? And you're waiting to get paid from your business or your employer. It's the same with this. You are paid to wait and to analyze. I'm just being brutally truthful here, right? Big black, away from the black, big black, it will come back, right? So it's coming back, right? I entered here, but I'm a little. I didn't wait. You know how I said, oh, I should have waited until the pullback? It's because I'm doing a video. I'm not fully focused, right? You must be focused, but I've only put it. It's a very small loss, right? It's not as volatile as NQ, right? So this here, all right, because see this moving average, mamma mia. See this moving average? This is acting as support. They also act as resistance. So if price is coming to or around it, don't just be careful. It can bounce off it, yes, but you want to see fatness, flat and fat. See the fat and flat? I mean, this is the market open, right? But you wouldn't be taking a sell into the moving average, okay? So if you want to go over this video again and write down notes, by all means, do that, right? I have gone over quite a bit, but in here, when it breaks, what are we in? What are we in? Okay, let me just put on nothing. What are we doing here? Ask yourself, what have we done here? What happened here? This did not make a low. This made a higher low. It didn't break this. What happened here? Broke this here, right? Broke this here, okay? Made a quasi on the side, breaking up. Look at the pattern it creates here. What kind of pattern is this? Right? You go on your chart and you draw this. And yes, oh no, people are like, oh, that's in the past. This is going to drill into your head. This is bullish. Look at the Heikin Ashi candles, right? I'm in a buy. Where's it going to? Well, it's gone past the zone, right? But this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, right? Then we come in here and it creates, right, a higher high, higher high, right? It's coming down to fill this gap. There's a gap here, right? This is going to fill this gap, right? Let me just move my stop loss, right? Okay. That in here, right, is a gap. Nothing, there's no wicks that tested into it, okay? So they very likely will come into this before going up, right? But it made a high, and if you look to the left, there's nothing here, right? So if they do push up, they're probably going to buy up because they made a higher high. Come down. Now, me being in this trade, right? If that doesn't get respected, right? Okay. All right. And they come here. I want to see them respecting this to keep on going up. If they start selling, I cut my loss and I go in with the sellers because this was just a, you know. But the rules, right? Oh, you can't even see. Let me just go here. Right. Right. This is right, 5-minute time frame. This here is making lower lows, right? Overall, this could be a pullback, right? I'm selling, right? Selling when moving averages are under, right? I'm looking here. Let me just take this off. It's a very good tool to have. If it's red, I can get in, right? On the 1 minute. What can I see? Right? Green, I'm buying, right? I'm not going to sell if it's green. I mean, green or gray. See, right now it's in between the moving averages. I stay out. Very important. If it's between the moving averages, do not get in. If price is in between the moving averages, don't get in. Because this could come here and go up. So if you put on and it gives you a sell, right? Right. Yes, you could have made money here, right? But this is going totally against everything. This is just pulling back, right? To stay out. Make sure price is above the buying and fully below, right? Okay, so now if this respects this, right? Oh, I don't, yeah, I cannot trade with all that on there. Hang on, Sydney, right? In here, right? If this, right? This here, right? Starts coming up, 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 up. I can go in for a quick scalp, right? But normally he wants to fill this gap, right? So because it's a market open gap, I'm not going to get in, right? Because they pushed, okay? This is massive, right? This is not a safe area, even if it does break, right? But that's what I do. I go to smaller time frames in the 5 second, right? And it will show you. Right? See how this is created? See this in the 5 second. Now, you don't need to do this, but it definitely helps. Right. Notice here, What's this doing? Breaking, retest, right? Okay, this here, am I going to take a sell here? No. I mean, this is 5-second time frame, right? This could just break and retest and continue down, right? But notice you actually can see patterns on this time frame, right? People scalp this ticks, little ticks, pips and ticks. This is minor, but people trade this. You can come undone, but can you see the pattern? If this was on the hour chart, you'd go, "Oh, this is selling, making lower lows and lower highs," right? Is there a gap you can put on your fair value gap, right? So that's what I put on 5-minute normal candles, fair value gap, right? 5-minute settings. Where's the extend? Okay. Oh, maybe I got the wrong one on there. Anyway, you can get ones that don't see. I can see the gaps. Just hold on. All right. So if this respects this, see the fair value gap in here, right? If it respects this and starts curling around, I'm gonna be buying this baby. I'm gonna whack some more lots in or whack in some contracts, right? Okay. Well, I should have waited for the pullback, but anyway. But you know what I mean? This here, there's a fair value gap. It means price wants to come in. If it breaks this trend line, it probably wants to come down. Right? I don't want to be in the sell anymore. I will cut my loss. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Good. Right. So I go to the 3-minute, right? I want to see this, right? Maybe this trend line is like this, right? Trade what you see, not what you think. This could be creating a trend line here, goes to 50%, comes down in here, right? As long as this area gets supported, right? Okay, go in here, right? Okay, comes down. I'm going to watch what happens in here now. If this area is supported in here, then I can enter a buy with more contracts, right? Comes around with bullishness, right? This kind of thing, right? This kind of candle, this, right? I don't want to see this coming in here and breaks this. I'm like, oh, we're selling, right? I've got it wrong, right? The market isn't going to make, it's just come out and it's going down, right? But see this, if this continues like that, right, and then starts breaking, right, that's what I can buy, right, right. So in here at the moment, I've got one contract in, and my loss at the moment is $30 because 6A is not as volatile, right? And you just need to demo. But if this starts coming round and beautiful, and then I get on with my where am I? Sydney orb. This is a massive orb. You don't even use that one. It's too big. Why is this so frozen? Right? Just ignore that. Right? See, this is starting. I would prefer it come down more, right? But it's respecting this. But I'm not going to add any here because this could just come down because of that gap, right? But what is it doing? Right? What are the rules? What are the rules? What are the rules? Get rid of the scribble die. Oops. clear. Price is to be above the moving average, right? I don't know where it's gone again. Let me just go into this one. Right. Right. Price is above this big black 200. That means it's buying. I'm on the 3 minute. On the 5 minute, it's doing the same. Right? It's broken, made a high, high. It's above the moving averages. Right? Go to the 1 minute. There's your crosses. It's coming here. Right? Right? I want this to cross around. See how it's crossed here? Okay, I want this to pull back. Then I want to have in here, right? I don't want to have gray. I don't want to have any red. I want to have this buying green and green, right? This is green. We want this, right? If you're thinking of selling and this is green, be very careful, okay? Because this is saying buyers are in, right? Buyers are in. Buyers are in. Right? And I have my, let me just put this on, right? Right? This can come here, away from the black, it will come back. See how it goes away from the big black, come back, away, come back, away, come back. Right? So you come in and it starts curling around, beautiful. And if this creates a trend line through here, right? Oh, things in the road, right? And it comes down and then breaks this, retests on this, right? And I've got my cumulative delta up here with green, green, green. And then in here, this is green and that is green. And this is green, this green thing here, beautiful. Then if I see Heikin Ashi candles come Asia, right, we are in. Right now, this is danger. Okay, we want high probability trades. All right. Anyway, I don't think I can think of anything else. I know this is a long video and I appreciate you listening to it. And I hope that you appreciate like the time that I put into this. And we all want to make money, right? If you get a sell going against this trend, like you need to go to the different time frames, right? This is above, right? Okay, this is not selling here, right? See the moving average, right? When the moving average, my, when the moving average, right, is like this, and you have everything under, this baby is selling, right? See how everything, see how everything tightens up and everything is underneath. This is beautiful, beautiful. Made a lower low, lower high, oh, lower high here, sorry. Boom, right? Bearish pattern, boom, bearish pattern, boom, right? So that's, instill in your mind these patterns when they break, right? In a downtrend, trend line breaks in a downtrend. So when I get something in here, boom, quick, easy money. Like this here, for example, depending on your account, what you have, right? Right. If I'm to enter a trade here, right, and I'm just going in for a couple of ticks, it's easy for me to get, right, $90, just boom, boom. See? Boom, boom. Here to here. Boom. But if it goes against you, right? Well, that's not too much anyway. But you can make money very quickly, Like you might even just go in for a quick scalp and boom, you made $50. You know, woohoo, that was good, right? But when you're in a trade, what I do, right, is I see, if I see, let me just go on to, right? If I see this kind of, this here, right? This here, this kind of market, right? I'm not like some people have trailers and they move their stop loss up, right? I'm moving it manually, right? I'm moving my stop loss up manually when the trade's in, right? So if I was to buy this, right? If I was to buy this and it starts coming up, right? And if this is my stop loss, right? Right. I'm going to be trailing my stop loss up and I'm going to take profit if it looks weird, right? If this was buying up, okay? But there's nothing wrong with taking profit. $50 is $50, right? There's going to be multiple times when you even on a pullback, right? You can get back in again, right? You know, if you're in this here and you see this, you don't want to go, oh, I'm happy with a couple of ticks. Depending on where you're at, if you're on a prop firm and you have your consistency, of course, go in there, get your ticks, right? You have consistency, right? And depending on your account, right, you have to have your consistency, right? There's no need, there's no need unless you want to build your account, right? But you won't get a payout, right? And please don't ask me about payouts, how I got my payouts. I hate it when people ask me stuff like that. I just refuse to answer. How much you got in your account? Oh my goodness. It's none of your bloody business. Honestly, I don't go up to someone that's working in somewhere and go, how much money did you make this month? It's rude. I'm sorry. If I have a copier, right, and people need to see my profit and loss, right? Yes, of course. Of course. Of course. That's when you want to see, oh, okay, I can see, okay, that's profitable. I'll hook up to the copier. But if I'm here and I've put in a trade and you're seeing me put in a trade and it's going to profit and you're like, oh, yeah, okay. And I'm going, oh, this is, when this is doing this, and you say to me, oh, what's your return on investment? I'm just going to go like this, right? I'm just being honest, right? None of your damn business. And if you don't like it, too bad, right? One of our family members was rich, rich as, and he walked into a car yard with his thongs and his what are they called? You lounge around in them, pants that you wear at home anyway, like pajama kind of things. He walked in with that, and they rang up the bank to make sure that he had money. And the bank rang him up, and he got offended. So he walked out of the car yard and went and bought a Mercedes and a BMW from a different car yard, brand new, right? But that's, we're all different. Some people like to show off all their profits, right? And it makes you feel like, oh, that person has made all that money, and it makes you feel like you're useless, right? You want to be like that person, right? What you want to do is you want to concentrate on yourself, right? And go, how do I make money? What is my plan, right? If you're trying to pass and all that or get to payouts and things, go, what do I need to do? What is my plan? What is my plan? How do I get to the threshold? Let's say there seems to be different brokers and different props and whatever they've got, right? you want a buffer, right? You want a buffer, right? How are you going to get your buffer, right? If you are in a 50K account, maybe you go for, $200 a day. Now, people go to me, oh, only $200 a day, right? $200 times five, right, is $1,000. It is easy to get 200. You just make 50 bucks, 50 bucks, 50 bucks, right? In a few trades, you've done your 200. Walk away. Come back to live another day trading, right? You see a lot of people, they're on NQ and they want to build their account and then they get on a bad trade and then NQ wipes out their account. Apex or whatever prop firm goes, your consistency is terrible. Your thing went right over $1,000. You're not supposed to. It's 750, and you've done it multiple times. We're not going to pay you. Right? You need to know the rules. Right? See this. If this creates a bullish pattern, right? We are buying Asia. Got a live on today in an hour, so I'm hoping that it pulls back and does it, and we can make money on 6A. That'd be great. Beautiful. I don't think there's. I'm going to check the news. Hey, but like have a plan. Like if you have, let me just get rid of this. Oops. Yes, I don't think that open. Right. If you have your account, right? Say for example, if you had $100, how are you going to grow that $100 to 1,000? Yes, you can use 0.01, right, and build it up. You can do $10 per trade, right? And then at the end of the day, maybe you put in 5 trades at $10. There's $50. Stop for the day. You might want to have a risk-free account, right, where you take part of this money as you're trading and you can risk 10 plus 25, for example. So you might have 150, right? And you might risk a bit more because it's creating this beautiful pattern in an uptrend, right? And it might go 3, 4, 5, right? So you risk this amount because the broker money gave you this. So you might risk a bit of it. Right? Say that. So if you might have 30, right? $30 goes 30, 60, 90, 100. Now your account, right? Plus this, you're heading to 300. Now what will you do with the money that the broker has given you? Right? Not the broker, the market. The market has given you this money, right? $200 of it. Now I know traders, they'll go, well, I can see the perfect setup and I'm going to risk this plus more. Now that's being silly, but if you have risk-free money, you can easily take that to $1,000 in one go, right? But that's being stupid. But some people don't care because if they get it, then they're like, oh, right? I don't recommend doing that though. Increasing your lots, compounding, right? Putting a bit of your money that you made into the next trade so that you're increasing your lots, right? You're not staying on 0.01. It's going to take you forever, but if you want to take forever, that's okay. Right? You're here, you make money, right? You started here and you have what, 150, I don't know, because the market went up. You can use $25 here, right? You might make $70 because the market, depending on what happens here, you might risk this and you make all this money. You can take, if say for example you have $100, you can take a percentage of that and increase your risk. If you were risking $10 per trade, you can plus a bit of it. You're still keeping your dollars sitting in here, but your lots are getting increased, meaning your account is going to grow. But of course, if it goes against you, you lose a bit of the buffer. But I look at the broker to give me money like a deposit, right? It's like a bank, right? You put money in a bank account and you want to increase it. Now, the bank is only going to give you pennies, right? But every trade that you do, right, you can make money on your interest. And it's the same with trading, right? You make $100, you can make money on that $100. So depending on your risk appetite, you can take some of that. And I'm only going to say some, risk disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, right? But if you've built your account, and this is, broker money pretty much, market money, right? You have a trade, I'm just going to give an example, comes up, retest, and there's a bullish pattern, right? You might risk, I'm going to say $2. Let's say you risk $50, right? Goes up, there's 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. Right? So you're using the money. Now you can literally, you can have $10 per trade, right? $20 per trade. Right? You can do that too. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. You can have multiple accounts, right? Multiple accounts. A high risk account, a safe account, a account for Bitcoin, crypto, you name it. You can have one account that goes the opposite ways, hedging it, right? All these things, right? These are in a different broker. These are in a different broker. These are a different broker. If this broker goes kaputska, because anything can happen in this world, you've got these brokers. So I always say have different brokers. Always. Even Owanda, if crap went down, believe me, you're not going to get your money out. Believe me. Oh, okay. So this is heading down. Right. If it breaks this, I'd be getting out, right? That is nowhere near my stop loss yet. Okay. But anyway, there we go. Let's have a look at Jappy. What did Jappy do? Where's my Jappy? Jappy. Potential sell. Yes. It is a potential sell. Shall we give an alert here? Okay, I've kind of missed it. Oh, it's because I didn't have my thing on. Okay. Oh, it's because, oh, duh. You know what? I've missed these because I haven't got them on. I've got them on pause. This is what I trade. Okay, let me put on normal candles. See if there's any weird gaps here. There's a gap here. It's closing the gap. Right. And you can see here. Right. The reason why I had that on is because this. Right. But I've missed this here. So I'd want to see a pullback. And of course, a bearish pattern. right? Just because the market goes doesn't mean you've missed it. You can just wait. This here, right? Okay, this here, right, can be a break here, retest, and it's going to make a lower high, right? And it might come down, right? So if I missed a trade, I'm not going to freak out and try and get in here. I'm not going to do that because this could just come here and then start pulling up, right? Like 6A, I don't know. I should have just waited, right? Always wait. Here I'm saying wait, right? This here, right? It's at a $85 loss at the moment. So I'm just going to watch this to see, right? Because I rushed into this. If this doesn't respect this here, right, it's probably going to sell off and come down and do something with these gaps, right? This was just me being impatient, right? And I'm not focused, right? Because I'm over here, right? But this here, right? There is a gap here. This could just be tapping in this gap, right? So I'm here. I just need to put this on. Right. This is underneath right now, which is not what we want. But on the 5 minute, we are tapping right into this area, right? Very, very bearish here, but it's just filling up this gap. So I'm watching this like a hawk because I don't want to be in this if it starts dropping, right? That's why it's always good to be patient and wait, Diana, wait. Right? But that was beautiful. But it is a market open. I should know better, but anyway. Bleh. All right. So there we go. Okay, so having a look. This here is doing this. Come up underneath. If this breaks, this is a quasi and it'll come down. Hopefully. No, see, that's that. If I would have been onto that. Anyway, I've got to stop doing videos when I'm trading, when I'm supposed to be trading. But there we go. That selling broke the trend. It's doing it again and again and again. The market just repeats itself. Right. Don't know what's happening here. Big open. Big gap. It's closing the gap. Right. This is coming down. I can get in this cell here. NQ. Okay, I'm going to stop this video. I hope this is enough. How you going, mate? He's probably